Have you ever been asked what's your type when dating? I certainly haven't. And yet, this is a question I see in every Korean dating show and K-drama. Granted, there's absolutely no person in my life who would ask me such a thing, so I can't say this is like the Western experience. I have certainly heard of people having types, but they're not usually a good thing. Like when Olivia Rodrigo sang "Another Actress," I can't believe I was just your type. Being a type sounds wrong because it immediately invalidates who we are as people. It's like we're being reduced to this one thing about us. Imagine seeing your partner's ex-girlfriend and she's a brunette with glasses.
That's suspicious.
One time, a guy approached me and said, "No introduction, no nothing." He said,
"I really have things with girl with glasses."
Okay.
So today we're going to talk about types. Are they a good or a bad thing? Why do people have them? What's a turtle face? How do I look like a first love? Well, a type is a person who has a certain set of characteristics, often both physical and emotional, that makes that person attractive to a potential partner. And your type could just be about anything. It can be vague, like funny people, or super specific, like NCT's Jaehyun's ideal type. Women with straight or long hair. Someone who can communicate well with him. Someone who is kind. Someone he can depend on. Someone healthy and into sports. Someone who is usually calm. Someone who is usually cute. I am only one of those things, and I'm gonna let you guess which one is it. Why people are attracted to other people is such a complex area of study in and of itself, but research on types has found that they are mostly linked to social context. You might have a thing for redheads, but you probably won't if you live somewhere where they're extremely rare, for instance. Or your type might be very shy men, but this may be less common in cultures where men are expected to be loud and outgoing. If you have a type, does that mean you always end up with the same person? No, not really. People's preferences for their ideal partners are relatively stable over time, but people's actual partner choices don't necessarily line up with what they say they wanted in a partner. This study on consistency and inconsistency among romantic partners over time found that exes resembled each other on socially relevant characteristics, like religious beliefs, intelligence, and educational goals. However, people most likely didn't choose these partners because of those characteristics, but rather due to circumstances. Maybe you tend to be in situations where you meet a particular kind of person, since personality affects what people do. Maybe you're into people who are fit and you also love sports. Is it actually weird that you always end up dating athletes? Another possibility is that rather than us liking similar people, a certain type of person likes us. You have a tendency to please people, so you usually attract people who always want to have it their way. So you tend to date that kind of person more, even if you don't particularly like those qualities. So to sum up, the most likely scenario is that we end up dating similar people because 1, we do have a type, 2, because we tend to attract a certain kind of person, and 3, because we just happen to be in situations where we encounter a certain type of person. Now, onto the most important question. No, it isn't. I have always denied having a type. I don't like to be predictable. I am a deep person. I connect with people for who they are. I don't pay attention to such superficial qualities like physical appearance. Having a type can become problematic if your type becomes a fetish. This means that you're reducing people to that one part of their body. It's especially problematic when your type is a whole ass race. Or the other way around, saying things like, I am not into people who are this race. Their race is all you can see, and you don't like it. So guess what? You're racist! As you have seen, I tend to like idols who resemble cats. You know what the worst part is? I don't even like cats. Oh, come on, like you didn't know. The other day, I was scrolling through Instagram when I found an image that describes the types of animal faces I could have, but none of them felt like they applied to me. So I did a quiz online that told me I looked like this fish, so I took matters into my own hands. Now, some of these said that they were Korean types, and some others said that they were Chinese types, but mostly they overlap. The main distinguishing feature of this face type are large brown eyes and soft facial features with a round face shape. People with a puppy face usually seem very friendly, innocent, and kind. Cat-faced people have narrow, sharp eyes, a pointed nose, and clear facial lines. Due to their clean-cut facial features, people with this type of face can appear cold and arrogant. The main characteristic of people with this type of face is, of course, their pronounced front teeth. They also have big brown eyes that are bright and full of life, a large forehead, a small nose and lips, and charming cheeks. These people don't actually look like turtles, but rather look like Squirtle from Pokemon. This means they have a small round face with a wide smile. Squirrel face types can sometimes be confused with bunny face types because both share similar characteristics: a small face, chubby cheeks, and a small mouth. The main difference is they don't have big front teeth. Deer faces have big round eyes with fluffy eyelashes, a round tip nose, and a skinny face with a long neck. They often look very calm and serene. Fox types can sometimes be confused with cat types because of their sharp facial features, but the difference between these two is that people with fox type features have eyes that point upward with eyebrows that are almost obliquely parallel. In addition, they have a more narrow chin, a pointed nose, and an M-shaped upper lip. Personality-wise, these people are described as charming. This one usually only applies to men. I haven't seen it apply to women, but horse types have an elongated face, sometimes a long nose, a protruding jaw, and straight large teeth. People with this type of face often have kind eyes, which makes them look really friendly. This one I found in an article specifically talking about Chinese face types. This type of face consists of a large mouth, thicker lips, a wide distance between the eyes, and a more collapsed nose. Although these features are considered shortcomings according to the general standards of beauty in China, the overall combination is considered extremely classy and sultry. A frog face has big eyes, wide double eyelids, a big mouth, and a short chin. Also sometimes referred to as a melon seed face, this is the traditional symbol of beauty in China. It's a small face with a soft but slightly pointy chin, paired with slightly rounded cheekbones with soft lines. And lastly, the one that I feel like it shouldn't make sense, but it does. These people have large almond-shaped eyes, double eyelids that are not too wide, while thick eyebrows, tender lips, and a youthful and childlike appearance. People with this face type are discouraged from wearing heavy makeup. I've also heard the term last love, but I couldn't find anything related to appearance. That's gonna be it from me today. If you can't find yourself in these types, you can always create your own. See ya!